Ariana really let her theater kid shine on the Love Island set, even responding to my comment in the process. I've been feeling under the weather lately, so seeing her was a real mood lifter. As always, she looks stunning in another gorgeous outfit. She's doing an amazing job hosting, and it's so enjoyable to watch her having such a great time. This is my first time watching American LI, but it definitely won't be my last. I love her as a host. She's poised yet shows her emotions authentically instead of staying stoic, like during the lingerie challenge. She seemed genuinely a bit uncomfortable, and so were we viewers, and I appreciated being able to relate to her emotions. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Spill Chronicles. It's me, Ramona, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. On the other hand, watching Season 8 feels like stepping into the Twilight Zone. The whole debate about Britt and Jax's homophobic pastor came up, and for the first and only time, I find myself fully siding with Sandoval. He shouldn't have had to apologize for confronting Jax about it. It's mind-boggling that the entire group thought he was wrong and went off on him. Sandoval was right. Jax and Britt changing pastors due to pressure didn't sit right with me either. Knowing Sandoval's background, I do think his motives were somewhat self-serving. Nevertheless, his concerns were valid, and his approach wasn't outrageous. If my friends were okay with supporting someone who spreads hate, I'd want an explanation too. Brittany's defense of the pastor as a good family man is a whole other issue. Was this a big deal when it aired? I'm autistic, so sometimes the dynamics of conflicts, friendships, and expectations are confusing to me. But that whole ordeal was wild. The idea that you can't question anything when someone's getting married doesn't sit well with me either. Brittany's reaction was very telling. Shrieking at Jax and telling him to knock out Sandoval was extreme, and everyone seemed to coddle her, which was bizarre. Why couldn't they just offer a thoughtful explanation instead of shouting? It should have been straightforward. Even though I thought Sandoval was just virtue signaling to look better than Jax, Ariana's involvement changed my perspective. As a queer woman myself, I'd feel deeply uncomfortable standing up for someone who doesn't believe in my rights at their wedding. Asking your queer friends to be around a loud, openly homophobic person is disgusting. Ariana was completely justified in her feelings, and Britt's lack of apology is gross. Everyone knew about the pastor before filming started, but Sandoval didn't speak up then. He waited for a chance to do it on camera. They weren't saying his view was wrong, just that he handled it poorly and didn't genuinely care about the pastor's homophobia. It reminds me of what Lala tried to do at this year's reunion. However, I'm curious about Ariana hanging out with Johnny Bananas. Is it a cross-promotion thing, or maybe related to Love Island, which I might not fully grasp? Personally, I've always seen Bananas as one of the original ick bros of reality TV, even though he's supposedly more likable these days. It feels like Johnny Bananas is everywhere, every challenge, every reality show, all the time. The latest season of the challenge just wrapped, and he's already out promoting and doing his podcast. I think he's trying to cross over into the Bravo universe, especially after his brief stint on The Traitors and Rumors, linking him to Lindsay from Summer House. I've heard he became friends with Jax after House of Villains too. The thing with Bananas is, while he's stopped hooking up on screen, his real-life drama continues. He was hanging with Jax for a while post-House of Villains, which isn't reassuring. In his last relationship, he traveled the world with his ex for 2 years, but then cheated while she was away on vacation. The reality TV world is full of messy situations. It's hard to avoid. Ariana has dated Tom and was best friends with Scheana for a decade, so her judgment of character isn't always spot on. I'm sure she's cautious about avoiding people like Tom, but Johnny Bananas seems like a different kind of challenge. It's definitely weird seeing Johnny Bananas surrounded by women in tiny bikinis drinking. Maybe Ariana's there for some promotion related to her show or something similar? Additionally, watching old VPR for the first time, and wow, Lala and James were insufferable. In Ramona Singer's words, wow, just wow. Thank goodness they got sober. Ain't nobody got me feeling like I'm feeling you, like I'm feeling you, like I'm feeling you. When people say they're end game, all I can think is, for what? Murder-suicide? They're like the most Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf pairing on the show, maybe even more than Jax and Kristen. If Lala was going to create a whole fake persona, I don't get why she chose such an obnoxious one. No one buys that she's gangsta or that anyone's afraid of getting popped by her, whatever that even means. Just no. Moreover, my husband posed this question last night: who would be the worst man to take care of when they're sick? Many men become weak and beg for help when they're sick, so who do you think would be the worst? I'd bet on Jax, especially when he got his first, or second, nose job and yelled at Schwartz to get him his drugs. He's completely and utterly useless. Even when they lived apart, Brittany said she still did all the grocery shopping and cleaning for him. Schwartz would become helpless, but refused to ask for help, suffering in silence unless you brought him medicine, food, etc. He'd be ungrateful because he didn't ask for help, yet expect you to read his mind. Tom would deny he's sick and overload on juice, holistic tinctures, and IV drips at the first sign of illness. He'd do the same for you but wouldn't sit and hang out with you. Jax would probably scream at you when he's sick and scream at you when you're sick. James would act like an infant when he's sick, but secretly enjoy being taken care of. He'd love hanging out with you when you're sick, finding your helpless state extremely attractive and trying to charm you. On the other hand, I really wish Bravo would create mini-story episodes featuring all the untold moments from VPR's extensive footage over the years. I'd love to see the evolution of Kristen and Ariana's friendship, as well as anything involving Stassi and Katie. Even the relationship journey of Tom and Raquel. Yes, judge me, haha. One idea I have is staging a one-act play set in an alternate universe where Jax takes the social media job in Tampa for a hockey team, with the Reiki master moving with him. They marry and live a seemingly perfect life, almost eerily so. Jax even leads a support group 3 times a week for men struggling with fidelity. I'm also intrigued by the scenes they flash back to but never fully show. For instance, in Season 6 during the Mexico trip, Sandoval called LVP about sampling tequilas for Tom Tom, and they flashed back to a scene of Tom, Kitty, and Ariana doing a tasting together. There were also Instagram stories during Season 9 of the 4 of them doing an outdoor cooking lesson, which I would have loved to see, especially during the height of Sandoval versus Katie tension. Their dynamic as a foursome seems like it was untapped territory, to be honest. However, it's hard to pinpoint who Lala's real friends are. Does she have any childhood or school friends? Most of the time, she's seen hanging out with her mom, brother, and assistant. Logan, Scheana, Stassi, James, they don't seem genuinely close to her. Lala, her mom, and brother seem like their own tight-knit group. Her assistant Jess almost feels like an acolyte. Logan, often seen tagging along with Lala, not to be confused with Ariana's Logan, seems to have faded from the picture since Jess became Lala's friend. It's odd that Lala gave herself a nickname and refers to herself in third person, even shortening her name further. It seems like a lot of effort. It appears Lala doesn't have real friends outside her paid entourage of family and assistants, plus the cast of the show. This might explain why she seemed so intent on attacking Ariana and Katie last year. They have healthy friendships outside the show, something she might envy. Remember when Lala confronted Ariana about not feeling emotionally close? Ariana kept her at arm's length for a reason, especially after this season. Lala claims to be ride or die for her friends, but even those like Logan and Scheana seem transactional, as if the friendship could end without much surprise. Additionally, it's surprising how no one talks about the trainer Kristen left Scheana's wedding with right after she punched James. There's absolutely nothing on the internet about it, and it's never discussed on the show, but it really looked like they were about to hook up. According to Stassi, Kristen is unburdened by anchors such as dignity and self-respect. I vaguely recall around the time the episode aired, people were speculating from his Instagram that he was an openly gay man, which might explain why it wasn't a bigger topic of discussion. However, I don't have any concrete proof, so take that with a grain of salt. Moreover, Scheana's energy in Season 4, Episode 12 was exactly what I missed throughout Season 11 of VPR. As a background show for me, I was watching the Hawaii episode where Ariana confronted Scheana about the texts to Ariana's mom. Scheana displayed a strong pro-Ariana, critical of Tom's attitude, calling him out for his self-centeredness and lack of consideration for others. She didn't even care that Tom was upset with her. That was the kind of Scheana energy I wanted to see in Season 11, especially since everything she said seemed to come true. I won't give her too much credit, though, because she was also gossiping about Ariana during the Kristen drama, but that's classic Scheana. It was surprising to see that episode again in light of the most recent season. Scheana can be inconsistent, but the one time she was in the right, she seemed to backtrack on it significantly. If this has been discussed too many times already, feel free to disregard. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.